Zach here with WMA Sportsman. Boy, do I got a good episode here for you today. I am doing something I've never done before. I'm all packed up. I got a frame pack that I got from the thrift store a while ago. It's been sitting in the garage, but let's get back on track here. I'm packed up, headed into the woods to do an overnight trip. We're gonna be hunting on our way in today, and we're looking for small game. Specifically, I'm looking for some ducks, wood ducks, and some squirrels, and possibly a hog. I just want to say that in order to do a stock wood duck / hog hunt, you need to be familiar with the laws. And in particular, the law I'm referring to is how you cannot use any lead shot. What I have here is some dead coyote heavy shot. It's double buckshot and it's made out of tungsten. And it is a legal round that you could have on you while duck hunting. So I just want to put that out there. If you're thinking about venturing out and doing a hog / duck hunt, just make sure you don't have any lead shot on you, because you could kind of get in trouble. Well, you could get in trouble. That'd be breaking the law. Whatever we end up getting out here, we're gonna cook up for dinner. I'm planning on making a nice pot roast. Who knows what the main protein's gonna be with it. It could be squirrel, it could be wood duck, it could be bluegill. I'm not sure. It just depends on what's gonna participate today. I just seen a squirrel right there. I think we're gonna be eating good because I seen a raccoon, I just seen a squirrel. Let's get back a little bit more. I think we're technically in an area that I'm not supposed to be hunting. So once I can get in the woods, another quarter mile, that squirrel is gonna have some steel shot. There's a creek swamp that runs through here, and this is a true old Florida feel and look to it. It's definitely one of the last places of its kind that's around. I imagine with just these characteristics of what I'm showing you, some of you guys already know where I'm at. It is a beautiful place. Another thing is I ended up bringing a life straw with me. It's an off-brand Sawyer's, but the same difference. And I was planning on filtering some water if and when I run out, since I'm spending the night. I did bring myself a nice cushion. I have like 8 or 10 big 21-ounce containers of water to get me started. So that should last me through the night and maybe into tomorrow. But that's gonna be something new for me, is filtering out the water with the life straw. A little sketched about it, to be honest. But as long as we find some nice water, stuff unlike this, you don't want to do that, in my opinion. If we find some nice clean water, I'll probably go ahead and refill. What a beautiful piece of property. It is very dry out here right now. You can see on these cypress trees, the watermark is up here, which is about the height of my shotgun. The water would typically be up to my chest right now during the wet season. You can see this whole area is covered in hog rooting. And we might end up using some of that dead coyote buckshot. Well, you can see the river right here and how low the water is. There's areas where it's completely dry, and then other deeper pools. Also along here, we got quite a bit. There's a hog track. I seen some turkey tracks a little bit ago, but quite a bit of tracks walking along this creek bed. I think there should be some wood ducks hanging out in here. If we find a good spot, I might get brushed in and end up sitting next to a tree and trying to shoot them. I don't have any decoys, and truth be told, I'm not much of a duck hunter. I've only done it, I think, 3 times. Now, I know in the duck hunting community, there's something called a water swat, and that's when you shoot a bird that's on the water. I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm not too good to not pull off a water swat. If I am able to sneak up within 30 yards of a wood duck with no camo on and get a shot off on it, that is a win in my book, and I'm gonna take that shot, even if it's on the water. It is not illegal. It's just something a lot of duck hunters don't do, but most duck hunters aren't out here sneaking up on them. Y'all call it what you want. If I'm given the opportunity, we're gonna be putting the hammer down on a Drake Woody water swat style. Now, once I get the first one, we might act a little more sporty and let them fly up. We need to provide a meal for tonight. That's the #1 priority, and it is legal. You can see a little creek bed that's carving its way through right here. Also, we got oaks that are scattered in a little bit higher areas. It is quite a few years ago, but me and my buddy Alex hunted out here for muzzleloader season for deer one year, and we had a freaking heck of a time. It turned into a great experience, but it was dang miserable. Tent camped in a torrential downpour, got waterboarded all night with a deflating air mattress, and this whole area was completely flooded. You could not find dry ground anywhere, and we eventually ended up getting set up all the way in the perimeter of the property on a very small dry patch, and he shot a nice 8-point. And it's those miserable trips that you remember. That was a good time. I'm working my way up here where I'm off from the main creek, but there's a secondary feeder creek that I believe has turned into a pond this time of year. And I think once I get up here, it might be an area that the wood ducks will be hanging out at. So we're gonna sneak on up to that, see if we can find one. There's a bunch of small Tweety birds in these trees. I keep thinking they're squirrels. Looks like there might be a little bit of water up here at that pond. We made it up to this cypress pond. It is pretty dried up, just a little puddle. Some turkey tracks in here, some deer tracks, among others. Some very dirty looking water. Not where I want to get my water with my life straw at. No wood ducks in this one. I may have to hug the main body of water. Speaking of water, I haven't drank any yet, so I think I'm gonna find a little spot maybe if we come upon some nice oaks and sit down and have a drink for 5 minutes. I see a squirrel. Looks like dinner right there. He's in this oak tree about 40 yards away. I'd like to get a little closer. He's in a very bushy oak tree. I lost that squirrel. Been standing here for about 5 minutes. So I got a couple of these small waters, and then I got 8 of these big waters. This is the first one I'm drinking. I've been conserving them pretty well. It's already 2:30 and the sun sets at 5:51. So far I have seen 2 squirrels and 1 raccoon. Squirrels are on the hit list. That's probably going to be my dinner tonight. I'd like to get 1, if not 2, and probably a max of 3. I don't think I could eat any more than that. I still want to hike a good ways, but I'll probably want to get set up in the next hour around 3:30 or so. That way I can get this load off my back and really focus on sneaking around these woods and kind of enjoy myself versus walking all the way up until dark and trying to get camp set up in the dark. 1 water down. I'm making a detour back towards the water side, and we're gonna walk that for a little ways. It's obvious that I'm not gonna find any wood ducks in this stuff, and that is my main target species that I'd like to find. And also, maybe I'll see some fish. I did bring a telescopic fishing pole, and I have some bluegill jigs that I could pull out. What we got up there? I got a couple turkeys up here. There's a couple turkeys up here about 80 yards. They got their head up, they're looking at me. I'm gonna keep walking, they're about to bust out of here. There he goes. There it goes, it's a hen. It's walking off to the left. I know I'm pretty redundant, and I keep saying this, but man, look how stunning and beautiful this area is. They just don't make it any prettier than that, folks. I'm gonna kill this camera battery before I even get to camp, because I'm obsessed with the beauty in this place. This looks like a good area to pull water from if I had to use my life straw. I would not be opposed to drinking this. It's beautiful water. I keep hearing a squirrel that's teasing me. Every time I walk, I hear him bark. With the amount of wildlife, hawks, turkeys, cranes, white birds that we're seeing, there's gotta be wood ducks in here. You shot a squirrel. Oh crap. I'm gonna have to go finish him off. That ain't good. He just climbed in this tree. Dang it. That's really unfortunate. Not so much because I was looking forward to eating them, but I don't want the little guy to suffer. I shot that squirrel, and then he was wounded. He fell out of the tree, and then he crawled into that cypress tree right there. And he got away. That stinks. I guess I should have put another round in him. I just didn't want. I really wasn't expecting him to go inside a tree, maybe climb the outside. Dang it, if I knew that, I would have shot him again. That sucks. Sorry about that, little buddy. Well, I'm not going to recover him. He went inside the tree and probably climbed up. I tried poking a stick at it and dragging him out. I can't see him. I can't get it in there. So, he's gone. That was the third squirrel I've seen today. There's probably some more around. Would not be a bad spot to set up the tent right here. On this hill. It's 3:13 right now. So, let's get another drink of water. Come up with a game plan. I'm walking pretty nice transition between cypress and oaks and hardwoods right now. There should be some more in here. Very surprised. I have not heard many barking or running through here. There's a big gator right there. Let's see if I can sneak up on him. Oh, he just took off. Dang it. There's another one. This right here's the gator hole. There's about 4 or 5 gators right here. Maybe not where I want to camp. It's starting to look like this wood duck thing might be more of a fantasy, and this might just be a squirrel hunt. I just hope that I could put my hands on one squirrel to make a good pot roast for tonight. I got quite a bit of hog poop right here. It's pretty fresh. I think this may be where I'm calling home for the night. I got a nice island next to a deep cut in the water, and the ground's not that messed up. There was a heck of a lot of gators on the bank back there, so I might have a little bit of company tonight. But it looks like a nice place to call my home for the night, and I can finally take all this heavy load off my shoulders. Definitely some life that is in this water. I'm not sure if it's gators, turtles, or fish, but I've been seeing quite a bit of activity at the surface. I think we should be able to catch some bluegill, worst case scenario, to throw in the stew tonight. I kind of like it the best right here, I think. So I'm pretty sure that's where I'm gonna put the tent, right here, and then we'll build a little fire out in this sand. This is what we're gonna be sleeping in tonight. An Ozark Trail 1-person tent. This was in the episode with my buddy Alex. It's actually his cheap old tent that he squeezed into. I'm like, hey man, can I borrow that tiny tent for this trip? So I saved about $32 from borrowing this. Come on. I got a little sleeping pad, and then I also got a thick quilted like blanket from Columbia that we'll be setting up as my bedding. I don't have a pillow, but I did bring a hoodie that I'll go ahead and get wrapped up for my pillow tonight. Trying to get the big sticks and stuff out of the way. 5 minutes of this is gonna be well worth it. That'll do. I think that's a good spot for this. That's about where I cleared out. I don't think that's gonna do much. I do have this Columbia. This is kind of my blanket slash extra padding. And then I got my hoodie. That's gonna be my pillow. Just stick that right there. I like the idea of the rain cover because how damp it has been in the mornings. But we'll just start. We'll have it halfway on there. Home sweet home. Well, I feel like this is going to be a good time to get everything unpacked and just talk about all my gear. Here is the old school Cabela's frame pack I was telling you guys about. I got this at Goodwill quite a few years ago. Look at this thing. And it was like 10 bucks. And I just had to buy it for the fact of having it. I thought it was the nostalgia of it. and I wasn't really quite sure if I'd ever use it. It's been at the garage, and when I thought up this trip, I asked my wife, Shelly, I'm like, hey, should I bring this backpack? She's like, oh yeah. And the more I started packing for this, it just made sense. It's been a great pack. I would not be surprised if these straps break on me because they're old, they're the original ones, and I know that webbing gets kind of dry rotted after a while. However, it's made it this far. Yeah, it's pretty freaking epic. I was saying that there's some old camping paperwork in here. Check this out. The previous owner, they got this U.S. Forest Service paperwork right here, and it's just super cool. I don't know what year this was printed, but it's got some awesome information in here. Just old school. Whole backpack equipment list, different food you could bring with you. It talks about how you want to keep everything lightweight, how you might not want to bring water in with you, and how you should probably drill holes in your socks. It's a little bit of comedy built into this, but I just thought I'd show you. Look at this, October 1976, for how cool this is. If you want, you could probably pause and read some of this stuff. I just kept that in here though. It's almost like it belongs to the pack, you know, so I'm not sure what kind of cool trips this pack has been on before I owned it, but I'd imagine it went on at least one or two. And hey, that's kind of neat that I'm able to bring it out here. I'm sure it has memories of its own, and we're just adding to the list. So here's the pack. Like I was saying, I just tied an orange vest on the outside just to try to be safe. There's not really anybody out here today. You never know. Orange is your friend. Inside here, I got everything I need for the night. I got a pre-packed thing of vegetables, got rosemary, all the ingredients that I thought I need for a stir fry. If we find a squirrel that participates, we'll be using this. If we don't, we might just be having a vegetable stew or a fish boil stew, if I'm lucky enough to get that. Also, in continuation, I got a camo shirt. I figured if I find a good wood duck hole, we could go on a camoed out hunt in the morning. We may be doing that. So camo shirt, and we got a couple waters that I drank. Here's all my snacks that I brought. I guess I do have a little safety food, huh? Got some ramen noodles, some cashews, 2 packs of some deer jerky that I just made. I might have to tear into that because I have not ate since I got here. And then I got 6, 7, 8 waters left, and they're the big boys. I was trying to find a water bottle that had a good lid before coming on this trip because I was planning on filtering out this water with my little Sawyer like life straw. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to do it. I am kind of ready to do it. However, the more I look at these caps, they're just the cheap ones with the pop top. So it's probably likely to strip out if I have to do that. Little gator over there watching me. Might have some company tonight. That's everything in here. This is probably gonna have to go back into the backpack so no critters get into my food. Inside, I got a bunch of stuff in here that I'll have to show you later. I got an extra pair of underwear and socks. I got a little packable mini Bible I thought that I'd bring in case I felt like reading. I have not read much of the Bible, but it might be a good thing to get into. A cutting board. This is the cool stuff right here. Honestly, I might have to show you this later tonight. I got an alcohol stove, seasoning, game bags, lighters, alcohol, all that cool stuff. But I don't know how much out of this I should pull out right now, to tell you the truth. Let's just get this stove out, because we'll probably be using this. Let's get the stuff out that we're gonna be using. We're gonna have that. We'll need this for tonight, and maybe some lighters won't hurt. I could probably keep this other stuff in here, tell you the truth. I'll show you guys the rest of the stuff here a little later. because daylight is going down and I still don't have anything to go with my stew. So let's continue this hopefully in an hour if I am fortunate enough to go get something. I've been seeing some fish pop at the surface right out here. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my little fishing pole rigged up, throw a little jig of some sort on there, and see if we could catch a fish. Because if we start catching some fish, I'll just have them for dinner. I got a bunch of fish blowing at the surface down there. Here's the little telescopic jobber. It is a eagle claw. I have not used this. Just got it in the mail for the trip because I wanted something that was compact that I could just fold up, put in the backpack. This is probably some very old, cheap fishing line, so I will not be surprised if it gets tangled up. I talked to two people earlier when I was walking in, and they just got done fishing. They said they caught a couple large bass out here today. If we catch a bass, we might be having bass stew. And we'll just take a break from hunting for the night, get settled in and find firewood, I reckon. If not, I think panfish is what I was gonna attempt to go after. Basically anything that bites, you know what I'm saying? There's little jigs. I got one big topwater lure that's in there, and the reason I brought that is because if I killed some wood ducks in a deep hole, I wanted to be able to throw it out there and catch those things instead of having to wade out. But it's starting to look like that's not going to be anything I got worried about. There we go. Little beetle spin. See if we catch something. Because I am not a good enough hunter, apparently, to get a squirrel. Oh man, you see all that? A lot of fish activity down here. A lot of fish activity. I think I need to go grab that camera mount. Just went back, grabbed the shotgun. I figured, who knows, I might see a squirrel while I'm out here fishing, now that I'm sitting all still. There is a bunch of fish that are blowing up at the surface right here. I'm gonna cast that a little bit right here, and then I've been seeing some small stuff in here. Bunch of hog rooting right here too. I know this thing's gonna knot up on me. I cast it 2 other times. No luck. I might need to go find a little bit of structure. This is pretty open. I think that little pond might be the ticket. I seen so much fish coming through here. Big fish too. That I had to throw it. It's probably big bass, to be honest. Big ripple. This water is not deep at all. Only like, oh, I just scared something. It's only about a foot deep. You think we'd see them? Here's the thing, I'm not seeing much. Just some ripples. Oh, got one. Got one. Got one, baby. Come on. Get on over here. Bluegill stew. It's gonna happen tonight. See if we catch a few more of these little guys. One down. Big hit back by camp. Big hit over there too. It is the fish hour. Oh, big ripple. Big ripple. I'm gonna have to probably go back to camp and make a little stringer. There we go. Just wrap it around there. There we go. This point down here looks like it might be where we need to go. That is next on the list. I think this will be good here with the tree roots. Let's try it out. Oh, some fish just blew the surface. There's gotta be a fish right there. Oh, I just had one. How awesome if we just seen a couple wood ducks fly in. It's another reason why I got this shotgun on me. You know what I'm saying? You can see some fish swimming off right now. We about spooked them. You got that nice cypress tree in the middle. Gotta pull at least one fish out of here. Bigger fish. Nice fish. Nice. Look at that, folks. That's a slob right there. He's a pretty one. Looks like we're gonna have that stew after all. Thing fought pretty good for this lightweight rig. Catch another one of those and we're gonna be set. Try this out. Looks like a good little change. This little beetle spin tears them up. Oh, I had one. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. Nice one. That's what I'm talking about. That happened so fast. It'd be kind of dumb just to give it up right now. Oh, there we go. Big one. The drag's not set enough. This one's big. Bigger than the last two. This might be a bass or a catfish. He's staying down. Oh, hopefully he don't break off. It's a big fish. Big fish. Just, wow. We're eating good. Like I said, 5 more minutes is all I was giving it. And it seemed like that was a good choice. Holy cow. Look at this thing. Look at that. Holy sun. Look at that panfish. That's a slob. That is a slob panfish right there. I think we got ourselves a speck. Look at that. Come on now. Son, we're eating tonight. Sometimes you come out here, you gotta have a plan B in case some squirrels and wood ducks don't participate. We're truly blessed. And we got another one on. It's a small one. We are blessed, folks, to be able to come out here and do this. All right, I think that's enough fish for tonight. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different fish for our stew. I gotta go get that stringer real quick. I'm glad that I brought that little fishing pole. It seemed like it saved the day. Who knows what would have happened if we would have kept looking for squirrels. I'd imagine we probably would have found one. It was not working in our favor though. Look at this guy. That thing's actually got some meat on him. How about that? We got dinner on the stringer, and it's time to go back and do some camp duties. There's quite a bit of nice firewood all dead and scattered around here, so I gotta start collecting that. The choice in firewood tonight looks like it's going to be cypress. There's a lot of it, and because how dry it is out here, the cypress is really dry too. I got some palm fronds that I'll be using as a base to get it started, and then there's all kinds of small deadfall. We'll layer up. We'll use the palmetto branches as well. Start making a little pyramid. These palm fronds are really great stuff. They'll get you going in a heartbeat. I probably am gonna let some coals build up. That's all very dry, it's gonna burn fast. I'm gonna keep feeding it with some new wood. And once I get a little pile of coals, I'll probably have the fire moved over to the side, keep moving in coals. I'm gonna start boiling my vegetables. Cheers. We got a thing of rosemary, freshly picked from my garden. I dehydrated some ranch dressing and made it into a packet with my vacuum sealer, and then I got some bouillon cubes. Got a half of an onion because I couldn't afford a whole, and 3 potatoes that have been on my counter. Well, I guess we got more. I also got a jalapeno. Not sure how that'll taste in fish stew. That was supposed to be for squirrel stew. I think it might be good though. And 2 carrots. I'm gonna take these potatoes. I think the smaller you cut this stuff, the faster it's gonna cook. I'm not a chef. It seems to make sense to me though. I'm gonna cut the potato in 4ths and then slice. You guys probably would prefer to see this, huh? I would normally use the cutting board and push it in there, but I do not want to get that much sand in here. A carrot, let's cut this up. I'm losing the carrots off to the side. So we're gonna have sandy carrots. Maybe I'll do it like this. No, it's a bad idea. Rough cut your carrot. I need to leave room for the fish because I'm starting to notice we're not gonna be able to fit that fish on here. Take my onion, same thing. It's pretty hard to work without a table and a big cutting board. So, as you could imagine, I'm struggling a little bit. We're gonna take the jalapeno, and I'm just gonna take the top, and I'm gonna cut it one more time. That way it can get a little spicy flavor. And then the rosemary, we'll just take a little bit of that, throw it in there for some flavor. That's all we need. Cut open your homemade ranch, and we'll do 1 cube of beef bouillon. I don't want it to get burned as far as my handle goes. So we're just gonna stick it right here and stick her over there. I'm taking my stick, I'm shoveling some hot coals underneath this. I'm just gonna feed it coals, and I'll feed the fire right next to it. Gonna take his guts out of here. Take the back of my knife and try to scale them. Olive oil, rub it in, and I got some seasoning here. Dealer's choice. I like to not look and just open a cap and then put some of that on there. It turns out that was paprika. We're gonna go with some pepper. Can't go wrong with the OG. And then, I guess I peeked. That was cayenne. There we go. Do something like this. Now we're cooking. Oh, uh-oh. My fire stand. It's catching on fire. We gotta salvage our fish. It's just so dry that this caught. So that is now going in the fire. It's delicious. You can't taste any of the seasoning that I put on there. It's very good. This side's peeling. So far, it's peeling a little better. Still simmering. He's going in to the stew. That worked great. Let's get rid of our skeleton. Try to toss it out. to avoid. But that didn't work good at all. Trying not to have gators up here tonight, but only so much I could do, it seems, when you're cooking this here. I'm putting him in there. The fish stew is complete, and let me just tell you, I just bit into a piece of that fish, and it was amazing. We got all the vegetables rendered down. You can see a bunch of little pieces of fish, and then, I wouldn't say the issue, but the price you got to pay for doing this is you get some bones in with the fish. So what I've been doing is I'll take a little chunk like this, and I kind of just piece my way around the bones, and afterwards I just kind of spit them all out, just like that. To be 100% honest with you, this fish stew is freaking spectacular. That jalapeno threw a great spicy flavor in with it, and I keep getting little pieces of the fish meat in it to make it more hearty than just a vegetable stock stew. I would 100% eat this again. So Shelly and I, we had our baby, we had our little girl. She's finally here, little Miss Riley, and the past couple weeks have been a lot. Been at the house and not doing any hunting. That's kind of why I've been able to push out a few videos lately. You know, like I was saying before, just having new priorities at the moment. And the YouTube thing, it's just gonna have to adapt. I did get pretty burnt out because I was going hunting about, you know, every other week or every week. It was becoming a lot between working, going on my hunts, and doing the video editing. I was always so busy and not present with my wife, and she never complained about it, but I just felt overwhelmed. So going forward, I'm gonna have to find a better way to do all this, you know, especially with having the newborn around. Our daughter, that's gonna have to be the priority, not this YouTube thing. But however it all manages itself out, we'll see. It's just, I want to let you guys know that hunting is not my complete priority like it used to. I want to maybe do more family trips coming up, more cool trips, and I'm still gonna be going out for deer quite a bit, but maybe not as much as I used to. So yeah, just stay tuned and see what the channel transitions to, or manage, you know, whatever it becomes. I'm getting bit by ants. What else? Yeah, so our daughter is here, healthy baby girl, mom's healthy, everyone's doing great. This is my first time squeezing out since the birth. It's just kind of a small scale hunt. I probably am only gonna go on one more deer hunt this season. I have a quota later in January that I'm gonna be going on, and I may squeeze out on a couple duck hunts. That's pretty much my itinerary for the remainder of deer season. However, come March, turkey season, I got some big plans for that, so be on the lookout for that content. I can't wait for turkey season to get here. I'm gonna drink on this flask for a little bit, eat my dinner, and hang out here. See if I could see any constellations or stars or anything, and then after that, you know, hit the hay. But I'll see you guys in the morning. It is 5:13 a.m. I slept pretty decent until about 4:30, and I just been tossing and turning, trying to go back to sleep, but I was planning on waking up in about 30 minutes anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some coffee started. I'm almost out of water that I brought out here. I just have 2 big containers left. For that reason, I'm gonna use my filtration device to make some coffee. Alright, the alcohol burner. I imagine this is my reusable pile of trash. Right here is my alcohol stove. What we do is take this guy, and then any type of alcohol. I did a little test. These marks are 3 ounces, and 3 ounces of this burned for an hour in the stove. This is a pretty minimalist way of cooking when you're out doing backpack hiking and camping. So this little stove that I'm spilling all over the place, it complements this device that we used to cook our food on last night. Just set this right here. Alright, as you can see, it is lit. The flames are very blue and you cannot see them that well during the light with the alcohol burning. I'm going to go ahead and use my life straw just to use it and get a little better quality water. I'm going to filter out the creek water and put it in here for my coffee. Got these little bags. This is a Sawyer brand water filtration device. And then here's the filter. I'll take one of my bottles with me. Let's give this water a try before we put it all in there. Tastes normal. I'm gonna take one more of these 16-ounce bags and I'll fill it in a water bottle just to have in case I run out of water here today. There we go. We'll call that full. I just brought some of this little lemonade flavoring packet with me because I was thinking maybe this water wouldn't be the best. It does have a slight taste to it. There we go. That's a little better. Let's go check on our coffee. Alcohol stove is doing a pretty good job. Got a little soft boil that just started. Gonna add my coffee grinds. I let the coffee boil for about 5 minutes. Just pulled it off the heat. Gonna let it sit here for 5 more minutes. And then we're gonna take some cold water, drizzle a little bit on the top, and that should make the coffee grind sink to the bottom, and we'll pour out the coffee into our water bottle. It is the moment of truth. Let's see how good that worked. It's gonna be a little challenging to pour this. Oh, crap. I'm spilling half of my coffee. That's probably all we're gonna get. Right when my alarm went off, that was my coffee alarm I set, and that's when I was gonna start boiling. Apparently I had my times backwards, because that is the time that the coffee is up, ready to drink. That's hot. There we go, we got all of our grinds at the bottom. A little bit more coffee, but that's just waste. And we got all of our black sludge coffee. This rinsed out. Coffee's cooled down. I finally was able to put the lid on it. And we are about to take off for our hunt. Just gonna shut down the stove. Alright, so the plan is we're gonna walk this creek up, see if we can find a little deeper hole, and then I'll stage there till light. Possibly see some ducks. If none start flying in, we'll just keep slipping our way along this creek and try to find a wood duck. And then we'll go ahead, possibly go through the hardwoods, circle back to camp looking for a hog. A few gators in here. There's a big gator right through here. A spot like this is kind of where I was thinking I'd find some ducks. And with all them gators, it's not really where I want to swim out and retrieve one. So I'm glad I went and got that fishing pole. there's a raccoon in a cypress tree up here. Let's see if we can get close to it, get them on film. Right there, and right there. Just hiding out top of that cypress. There's quite a bit of hog rooting along this creek. I do think we have a good chance of finding a hog. It's going to be a little challenging if I walk up on one right now, though, and the reason is because I have that duck shot in here right now. I'll probably keep this in the gun for the next hour as I'm walking the creek. This gun, since it's a semi-auto, when you take out the cartridge, it makes a lot of noise. Even if you try to ease it out and ease a new one in, it kind of slides forward. So I'll most likely scare off the hog if I'm messing with that. I do have my second shot as buckshot right now. But if this whole duck hunting thing is unfavorable, I'll be switching out the ammunition. I did make a note to you guys yesterday that if you want to do one of these hybrid duck hunts where you also target hogs or other big game like deer, you just want to make sure that the buckshot or slugs or whatever rounds you're using don't incorporate any lead or other toxic shot. So I told you guys yesterday that to prevent myself from that and to stay legal, I bought some of this Dead Coyote. It's tungsten buckshot and it does not have any lead in it. It's pretty expensive. That box was $35 for 5 of them. I'm not planning on using it unless I go on one of these hybrid duck hunts. So hopefully it lasts me a while. I should be able to get 1 kill per shot. So if you look at it that way, it's not that expensive. $35 for 5. I think that's $7 a round. If I'm able to harvest a hog with it and just spend $7, it's not bad. Anyways, we're gonna keep looking for ducks for the next hour and then take out this shot for the ducks and just encompass buckshot in the gun. The wood duck thing just ain't working right now. I'm gonna go in the swamp. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna attempt to do this quietly. This is what I'd do if I snuck up on a hog right now. That was actually a lot quieter than I thought I could have done it. Pretty surprised I have not seen any ducks. I'm sure you guys that duck hunt though are probably not as surprised as I am. I'm not sure if it's just a lack of different water features, flooded timber, a food source thing, but there's not many ducks in these woods, it looks like. Should be a few more hogs than ducks, I would think. I bet you these are not sour, since it looks like there's some sort of humid, I'm not sure what that would have been, some sort of old skinning rack, maybe back in the day when this used to be private property. Let's give it a try. It does kind of smell sour. Oh yeah. Super sour. I don't know why, I kind of like them sour oranges though. Cheers. Coming up on what might be a little pond up here. It definitely is during the wet season. It just depends on the water level. There might possibly be some ducks in here if it holds water. I'm starting to think little pockets of water with this vegetation and this look might be better for the wood duck than that wide open water. I'm gonna sneak along this edge. Probably won't find any ducks, but it is a nice looking area for hogs as well. I'm working my way back towards the creek, and I'm gonna cross the creek, turn around, and start working my way back towards the camp. I have pretty much given up on trying to get a wood duck at this point. My back is getting pretty sore. I've been walking since sunup, which I think it's sunup. Been walking since about 6:30. It's 8:40, so it's been a little over 2 hours that I've been walking. I haven't really stopped to take a break. So once I get up here to the creek, I think I'm gonna take a quick break. Let's get crossed over to the other side of this so we can walk some new woods on the way back to camp. Are Y'all ready for turkey season or what? I'm back on the creek's edge right now, and there's a little deep hole here. I see 3 gators in it. I got some nice shade at the moment, just letting my lower back relax since I've been walking for 2 hours. This looks like an area that people have camped before. There's a little cooking grate that's tied up to a tree right here. And I imagine during the wet season, this hill stays pretty dry. Here, let me show you guys the spot. Here's this cooking grate. I could have used that last night for the fish. And then up here, you got the high and dry oaks. Would be a real nice spot to pitch a tent. There's quite a bit of hog rooting all through here. So I do think on the walk back, we still have a pretty good chance of finding a hog. You can see right here, someone cooked up some charcoal. This grate's been here for a little bit. It's dug into the tree. I may throw my line out here. Look at that little gator. Right next to the tree. Probably a little 3-footer. I think I'm gonna throw my fishing line out here while we're hanging out. See if I can catch something. I still got this beetle spin on here from yesterday. I bet you there's some decent sized bass to be found in here. That would be a heck of a fight if I hooked into one of those on this light fishing gear. Bunch of gators. I already got snagged on that first cast. Let's just do one more cast. I just thought it looked like a nice deep pool and all the gators here. There might be some fish around. Fishing for recreation right now because I'm not planning on eating anything else today. Be getting out of here soon. No luck. Got a nice hog waller right here. Also, unrelated, it looks like a bird died right here. Bobcat or something had its way with that thing. That should have crossed a while ago. But, oh, that's cold. This is probably the last crossing I have before I get back. I think I'm gonna have to get a little deep. Bunch of gators in here. Whew. Oh. Oh. There's about a 7-foot gator out there. You can see. If I get a little closer to him. Cold water. It's probably the best looking area right back here as far as what I would picture for duck hunting. It's where the creek runs through, and there's a big pond right there. I think the word for what's formed is an osbow, if I'm saying it correctly, where the high water runs through and it creates a little island. Oxbow. There's a pretty deep pool, and you got a couple splits. There's a bunch of fish hidden at the surface right here. I'm unsure if they're just like little catfish or some sort of panfish. See if we can catch something, maybe a bass, before getting out of here. Oh, that didn't take long. First cast. This is a good spot. Panfish. We got a little bluegill. Let's see how many we could catch in 5 minutes. I'd like to get a little closer to the roots. Oh, look at that. Fish number 2. This is the spot if you want to come out and tear them up. A little bit smaller. That one would be good to use for some catfish bait. See what's out here. There's all them fish popping at the surface again. There we go. It's a little better one right there. Open water. That one's pretty. Look at the colors on them. 3 fish in 4.5 minutes. Oh, I'm not sure if this one counts. I got this drag pretty tight. Might break me off. What is this one, a bass? Or is this a speck? It's fighting like a bass. Look at that fish. Beautiful speck right there. Check him out. Look at that guy. What a beautiful fish that one is. That was a pretty fun change of pace. Good way to rest my shoulders from this heavy pack. And kind of gave a little more purpose to the trip versus just coming out here getting skunked from hogs and wood ducks. I am approaching my camp right now. Creekside lemonade to the rescue. That might last me the whole way out. Turns out I brought the perfect amount of water. Until next time, campground. Well, I just want to take a minute and talk about this trip. I gotta go this way. This trip did not let me down. It was quite the adventure. I was humbled by how difficult it was for me to bag a squirrel, and the mystery of the creek wood duck that I couldn't find also humbled me. The hogs, it could be like that sometimes. I'd be more expected to come out here and get skunked from hogs than I would be from squirrels. I would encourage everybody to come out and try this kind of stuff. You don't have to start with this extreme of an adventure, but Florida has so many different public lands that you could access, and you could hunt and fish and do this type of recreational activity. So if you are interested in doing something like this and going hunting on Florida public land, go to the MyFWC website and start reading, because there is so much opportunity. Some things maybe I'd do a little different. I think next time when I do this pack in, I'd probably bring my Crocs with me, to be honest. They don't weigh that much, and I could just clip them on the top. The second thing that would have been nice, given the luxury, would be some sort of chair. It was not that bad laying on the ground. I did bring that nice Columbia blanket that I had inside my tent. I probably could have brought that out and laid on it. I was just worried that if I would do that, it would be covered in sand, and when I went to sleep, I would have been covered in sand as well. A couple other things. The sleeping pad was super uncomfortable. I was able to get some sleep, most likely thanks to the whiskey. I slept till about 4:30 a.m. and after that I couldn't fall back to sleep. So I kind of tossed and turned for a half hour, and then I decided, you know what, it's time to get up and brew some coffee. And honestly, it worked out pretty good. That's all the sleep I needed to get. Another thing, I'd say if I would have brought a camping grill grate, that would have been pretty huge versus trying to put the fish on kebab sticks. So anyways, yeah, this was just a little intro for myself coming out and doing this style of hunting and camping. I would like to possibly do a trip like this for turkey and possibly for deer when deer season gets here again next season. That's about gonna wrap up this video, everybody. Be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one.